Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Flint Community Webinar, your community resource. We're so excited for the wonderful lineup we have for you today. But first, I want to remind you of something Yvonne Lewis just said to me, which is please use this Friday and this weekend to catch up with yourself if you need the time to do it. I think that's such a wonderful message. As we get started, we've got a lot of wonderful people. We've got the team from MSU Extension. But first, we're going to send it over to our previous host with the most, who's amazing, who's going to talk to us a little bit about GHP and their vaccine event that they've got coming up. So, if I could pass it over to Yvonne Lewis, who has been gracious enough to tell us a little bit about the event.
Thank you, Dr. EJ, and it is great to be here and say good afternoon to everyone. And again, welcome to the community webinar. We got to tease a little bit about just checking in and being a part of what's going on. There's so much going on. We just do sometimes need to take a little time and get a little check-in and do a little tune-up. And so that's one of the things we want to talk to you about today. And I'm happy to have with me a co-worker from the Genesee Health Plan, Jamaica Thomas, who is helping to coordinate, really leading the charge on coordinating this event this year. We This was our annual drive-through flu clinic, and I know many of you have heard and known about this for the last, ooh, wow, it's been almost, what do we say, 11 years or 10
Mhm.
years? It's been a
It
while
has been that long.
since we started this to make sure that everyone was able to get a flu vaccine. That was a real issue for us years ago, that we wanted to make sure that everyone had the opportunity to get a flu vaccine. And so much has changed in terms of how we do that, how often we get the vaccine, and then additional things with COVID being a huge, making a huge impact on our community a few years ago, 2019. So we're now looking at beyond just the vaccines. How do we do this fall tune-up? Just to make sure we're encouraging everybody to look at what's gone on through the year and where might you have missed a couple of opportunities to check up on yourself. And here is another opportunity that's coming up on Thursday, the 25th of September from 3 to 6 p.m. here at the Genesee Health Plan located at 2171 South Linden Road. And there's been a lot of thought put into some of the things that we want to encourage you to think about as we're entering into the fall. We know school started and there's still some things that our students need to do. So this is an opportunity if parents haven't been able to get their students to the doctor to get those vaccines. Here is another opportunity. So I want to invite Jamaica to come on and just give us some highlights of what's going to be happening at this event. Jamaica?
And we told Jamaica she was gonna have to MC the webinar next time too. We started with that little bit of a teaser, so we're gonna bring her back one of these days to lead the charge on all the information. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you so much for having me, and I welcome the opportunity to engage with community. It's just that time of year again where we're faced with back to school and all the things that go with that, and we just want to encourage our community to come out and get a healthcare tune-up. And some of the things that we're so excited about this year is that Delta Dental will be on hand for some oral health screenings. Sometimes we exclude oral health as a part, but it definitely is a part of a tune-up to make sure that your oral health and your mouth is healthy. And also we have St. Luke on hand to offer some vision services and schedule some appointments. So we're excited about that, those two things. And of course, the health department will be on hand to offer multiple vaccines if that's what you need. So we have something going on inside the building and outside the building. And of course, the Genesee Health Plan staff is always available to help with healthcare coverage needs and to make sure folks are re-enrolled, whether it's Genesee Health Plan, Medicaid, Medicare, or even shopping the marketplace. We are coming up on open enrollment period. So we want to make sure folks have coverage to even be able to get a healthcare tune-up. But on September 25th, from 3 to 6, you can stop by the Genesee Health Plan. We will have some light refreshments. Bee Dogs from the farmers market will be on hand to offer some refreshments. And also just get a healthcare tune-up. Just check in where you need to. Um, The flyer is there with all the details, and we will have some fabulous giveaways. We also don't exclude any population of folks. All are welcome that are in Genesee County. And we will have two ASL interpreters that are always there to help with those who may be deaf or hard of hearing. But please join us. Anyone is welcome to come. This event is totally free. And we just want to make sure folks are getting the healthcare screenings that they need.
Thank you, Jamaica. And we want to also thank Michigan State, the College of Human Medicine, because they're going to provide for us some students who will be here. If you have some questions that you might want to ask the doctor, we're also going to do some blood pressure screening. So there's a lot that's going to be happening here for you for this healthcare tune-up. So please come and join us next Thursday, not next Thursday, but Thursday the 25th from 3 to 6 here at the Genesee Health Plan. Thank you, Dr. EJ.
Thank
You.
you. Thank you so much. Yvonne reached out to us and said, "Hey, can we get some students in this event?" And I just appreciate the community aspect of like getting us all involved, making sure we can all be there for each other. So after you check in with yourself this weekend and you take us check in with the GHP's day of health and tune-ups and opportunity to get those screenings and get updated on your vaccines. Thank you both so much for having this event and for talking to us all about it. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. All right, more to come. We're bringing MSU Extension to the floor to talk to us a little bit about so many of their wonderful events. And fun fact, I had the opportunity to enroll in the Foundations of Gardening course. So I'm really excited to explore what that has to offer and learn a little bit more about how I keep my plants alive and I can grow some plants that I can actually eat. So I am excited to engage with the extension programming, and I'm so excited for them to tell us a little bit about the programs they have in the community.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're so happy to be here today and be able to share a lot of information with you all about the work that MSU Extension does here in Genesee County. Could we launch that poll really quickly if it's ready to
Absolutely, we will
go?
work with our teams. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so we just want to kind of gauge how familiar folks are with MSU Extension, and whether or not you've participated in one of our programs before. As you'll learn over the next 50 minutes or so, we have programs that span everything from how to grow plants to how to keep your family healthy to cooking, nutrition, food safety, youth programming, how to get involved in your community. So lots of different ways that you can engage with MSU Extension. So we'll give one more second for that poll answers to come through. And whenever it looks like a good time to end it, we can show the responses. I'm not sure who's managing it. Oh, and we do have one more question for you all. And this will have to do with our youth programming. So take a guess, or if you know what the 4-H's are in 4-H, a few options for you there. All right, and maybe we'll come back to that response, but first I'm going to hand it over to Darren Bagley, who's an educator here in our office. We're playing a little bit of musical chairs today, so we'll be coming in and out. But Darren's going to give a little bit of background on what Extension is, why we do what we do, and what we do in the community. So I'll pass it over to Darren.
Yeah, I've been with Extension for a while, so I get to do this. And how many? Just think about it for a second. How many different state-funded universities do you think we have in Michigan? I should have set this up as a poll question, but I didn't. But just think about it. See if anybody guesses what the number is. And depending on how you count it, there's either 13 or 15. It depends on whether you count University of Michigan as 3 or 1. But all my friends at University of Michigan Flint say they don't get treated the same as the folks in Ann Arbor. But there's 15. And when you think of Michigan State University, what makes MSU different from those other institutions? And there's a reason for it. Sometimes people think of MSU as a farm school or something like that. And there's a reason for that. Michigan State University, way back when we started 1855, most colleges and universities were for wealthy people to learn how to be doctors and lawyers. Now, how many of you are a rich person who wants to be a doctor or lawyer? I know that this is a health, so that we might have a few of those folks here. But what did everybody else do to learn their career? If college was mainly for law and medicine, well, most people would become an apprentice and they'd study under another person. And just because people do things a certain way and they've been doing them that way for a long time, does that mean it's the best way to do those things? Not necessarily. And so the state of Michigan created this land grant university. They gave the state a chunk of land and they sold it to create this institution to research things like agriculture and engineering and how we prepare and preserve food and things like that. And that's what the land grant university is all about. Now, later on, because not everyone can make it to that university, they create an extension offices and there's extension programs in every county in Michigan. And the purpose of that extension program is twofold. One is to take the research that they're conducting at the university and put it in the hands of people to help them with whatever they're doing in their everyday lives. Whether it's government and public policy stuff, whether it's environment and natural resources, whether it's raising children, whether it's growing plants, whether it's eating food, all of the different things you do. And the other piece, when extension's working its best, they take the questions that they have out in those counties and work with those scientists on campus to try to find answers to those questions. And when we're doing our job best, we're that two-way communication between that research base and the communities that we live in. And we got a short little video to talk about it.
We will play this video that says a lot of what Darren said and a little bit about our reach across the
Every
state.
college and university teaches. Many are also known for being institutions of research. But a select number of schools in the U.S. are assigned to bring knowledge and bring it to individuals, families, and communities across their state. As Michigan State University Extension, we are supporting agriculture and agribusiness practices. We are empowering youth to become stewards, leaders, and develop skills to be successful. We teach health and nutrition from safe food handling, vaccine education, to managing and preventing chronic disease. We also teach participants how to establish healthy habits while staying within a limited food budget. Who we are is simple. Why? We work to help grow Michigan's agriculture economy, capture opportunity for sustainable use of natural resources, control healthcare costs by giving individuals the information they need to manage chronic illness, and prepare tomorrow's leaders. MSU Extension is creating opportunities and building communities that make Michigan strong, prosperous, and a great place to live. This is who we are and why. But how? How is it that we are part of a few select universities with this task? That is because MSU Extension was once the first of its kind. We were the prototype for the entire land grant system. Now let's dive into that story. At the start of the Civil War, 75% of the United States residents lived on farms. The country needed agricultural and practical education, while also needing to increase the agricultural skills of people on farms. There may not have been a lot of money for people, but there was land. 1862, President Lincoln signed the first version of the Rural Act. Each eligible state would be able to create an institution to teach agriculture and mechanical arts. There are now more than 100 of these institutions, extending now to historically Black colleges and universities and those serving Native Americans. This extension of educational resources and knowledge gives a broader range of students the opportunity to learn applied sciences. Later in 1887, the Hatch Act extended agricultural research beyond campus labs to research stations in the field, literally. First, it was the farmers who were directly impacted by the agricultural advancements being made at these centers. Today, focus has broadened to include topics of food, health, and the environment. These research centers are working to meet specific needs and address emerging threats. And in 1964, we became the Michigan State University you know today, delivering a wide variety of programming. from business and economic development to family, youth, and health. We are also the institution presiding over Michigan 4-H, the largest youth development organization in the country. Youth ages 5 to 19 will build skills and leadership. So with a presence in every county, we hope you'll join us by learning more or by participating in one of our many programs.
There was your history lesson for the day of the history of land-grant universities and the extension system. And then we're going to transition into talking about what we do today in Genesee County and in Flint as a part of that system. So one note before we jump in and you hear from our different team members is we are going to have a lot of links and QR codes. The links will be in the chat as we go, but we did compile one document that you can reference today or in the future that has all of the links, all of the QR codes for the different programs that we're going to talk about today. So copy down this link or visit it, and that'll have everything that we are talking through today. So the first team that we're going to hear about is kind of the most traditional extension team, and that's our agriculture and agribusiness team. So I'll turn it over to my colleague Barslin Judd to share about that team's work in Genesee County.
Hi, my name is Barslin Judd. So as Kelly said, I am in the Agriculture and Agribusiness Institute. So that's one of our 4 institutes. Traditionally, a lot of that focused on supporting farmers. So helping farmers with planting crops, helping with their soil health, helping them plan for passing on their farms to future generations. But I am on kind of an unusual team. My team is the consumer horticulture team. And on that team, we work with the general public. So we talk about home gardening, lawn care, growing vegetables. I also work with small community gardens and small urban farms. So I'm kind of the odd one out. I also get to work with Extension Master Gardener volunteers, and I'll talk a little bit about that programming here in a minute. But generally what we do is what Darren spoke about. We are taking that research that's conducted at the university level or at our research facilities, and we're helping kind of take that out into the community and teach it to the general public. And we're helping to take those questions and interest from the general public back to the university to help with research. So that's our background. In the Agriculture and Agribusiness Institute, we do have a lot of different programming for our area, specifically here in Genesee County. I run a program called the Extension Master Gardener Program. And this is a volunteer program where volunteers go out and educate in the community. They go through one of our courses first called Foundations of Gardening. So that's a course that's open to anyone who wants to take it. But if someone wants to continue on and become an Extension Master Gardener volunteer and work out in their community, they can do an additional training after taking that course. We've got around 120 here in Genesee County and around 160-ish, almost 170 in the general area, so Genesee County and surrounding. We have a lot of different projects. Some of those support food donation. So say you might go to a local food bank. Some of that food might have actually been grown by Extension Master Gardener volunteers. We also have Extension Master Gardener volunteers that will go to schools and they'll teach kids about plant science and how to start seeds or how to have a community garden at their own school. The Foundations of Gardening course is a 10-week series, and we highly encourage, especially people who are interested in getting involved with community volunteerism or teachers in our area, to consider taking the course. We do have scholarships for those. Some of the other programming that we do here in the area have indoor plant propagation. So this is something I teach a lot at local libraries. I like to teach about indoor plants because not everyone has a yard or a home to grow plants at. And this really helps bring out that therapeutic part of gardening and bring it into a setting that anyone can have access to. So I teach a lot of indoor plant propagation classes. I also teach things like native plant seed starting, where we talk about special considerations for starting native plants to support our wildlife and pollinators. In this picture right here, you can see one of our other AABI educators. This is Derek Platkowski. He is a fruit educator, and this is at the Edible Flint Farm, which is a great educational facility here in the city of Flint. It's run by an organization called Edible Flint, and we partner with them on a lot of things. So he was teaching a pruning course this year. Now, we have some other support for people who have gardening questions. We have a tool called Ask Extension, and Ask Extension is really great because pretty much any topic area that's taught by Extension, you can find here through Ask Extension. You can send in pictures of an insect if you need help getting it ID'd. You can send in a very sick looking plant photo and ask for help on how to care for it. You can send in questions about canning safety. So anything that's covered by Extension, we can answer through this tool. And we also have the Lawn and Garden Hotline. The Lawn and Garden Hotline is specifically for lawn and garden type questions, and it is open 9 to noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So how can you get involved? Submit Ask Extension questions. I am a wrangler, which means I get to see a lot of the fun questions that come through. And I love to see what people have popping up in their gardens and what people have questions about. It's actually one of the things that helps me to decide what I'm going to teach about in the community. So I use that as kind of an informal feedback tool. We also have a Facebook page called Gardening in Michigan. We post a lot of upcoming events from around the state and also post some dumb memes on Friday. So I love making dumb memes for that. But feel free to check us out through those. If you're interested in the Foundations of Gardening course or the Extension Master Gardener program, you can go to our site, and it includes more information about how you can become a volunteer, when our next class is coming up. We have one that just started last week officially, and we'll have another one. We usually have them fall and winter. So you can go on there and you can find out how to apply for a scholarship. And if you are interested in other agriculture and agribusiness information, we have our newsletter. This includes articles and upcoming events from our agriculture and agribusiness educators around the state. We do have several others here in the area, like I mentioned. We have Derek, who helps with a lot of our fruit stuff. We have educators that work with field crops. We have educators who work with farm and business planning. So all sorts of individuals to help you out. And Kelly, I'll swap back over here.
Yeah. Here's our magical chairs once again. So next we're going to hear from Amy about our children and youth programming.
Hi, my name is Amy Childers, and I'm really excited to share what the Children and Youth Institute for MSU Extension is doing here in Genesee County. So we provide services to children all the way from birth until age 19. So starting right from the beginning, we have the Child and Family Development Team that offer classes on early child professionals. So it's peer-to-peer support. We have professionals, and then they're going to offer some classes and programs for other professionals. There are plenty of programs directly for parents and caregivers, and then the relative caregivers. So folks that are caring for their relatives, and then family engagement. And I'm going to talk a little more about that in the next slide, but these family engagement programs are because we know that children learn through play. So mom and dad might show up to a local library for a music and movement class thinking it's just a fun opportunity for kids to make some noise and listen to some music, sing along, play some instruments. But we know that they're developing essential social skills and gross motor development. So throughout the county, some of the parenting series are guiding principles for highly effective parenting. And this is going to focus on developing skills to deal with your kids. So developing those essential calming techniques, right? Ways to communicate more effectively with your kids. Parent Talk is specifically about communication. There's building early emotional skills, the BEES program, and that's for littles between the ages of 0 and 3. And then there are also classes geared specifically to dads, fathering, male caregiving classes. There are parent and professional one-time presentations. And these are offered online or in person, and they're going to cover a range of topics. And most qualify for the Michigan Registry credit. So if you are a professional that wants to take some professional development hours, covers that. Or if you're a parent who needs to get some hours for court-appointed parenting classes, that should also be covered. And then the music and movement class, like I was talking about before, a really fun opportunity for kids, mostly toddlers or preschoolers, to learn through play and music. And one exciting thing that's in development currently is a music and movement class that's for youngsters with sensory needs, who might feel overwhelmed by the raucous atmosphere that typically happens at the music and movement class. So right now in development is a way to make a calmer, sort of gentler music and movement class for youngsters with some sensory issues where they're still going to develop those essential skills. And this is the QR code for the email list, and that way you can stay up to date on what the Child and Family Development Plan have an offering. And then moving right along, we've got 4-H, which is going to deal with the 5 to 19-year-olds. And 4-H is all about hands-on learning, experiential learning. So I'm sure most people think of 4-H, the traditional clubs, agriculture focused, maybe raising an animal to take to the fair. I know when I talk to older folks that have been through the program, they reminisce about maybe a blue ribbon pie that they baked one time for the county fair. So we still do all that traditional programming, but 4-H clubs can really be focused on any interest level. There's also after school 4-H clubs, some in-school programming. Specifically, I'd like to highlight embryology, where the incubator and chicken or maybe even duck eggs are brought directly into the classroom, and kids can learn hands-on the life cycle of poultry. There's also spin clubs, which are the shorter term interest-based clubs that might just run for 6 to 8 weeks. And that way you can sort of get your feet wet, see how much of a commitment you want to make before maybe you join that year-round traditional format. And then we also, as a staff, attend many community events. And this is one of my favorite parts, because when we show up for a tabling event, we don't just have flyers and handouts. We also have maybe water bugs from local creeks or rivers so that folks can identify and learn about the health of their water systems and learn about those bugs. We have crafts, different projects. So everywhere we go, we want to have that hands-on component. This next slide highlights specifically some of the programming. We have partnerships with lots of different community spaces throughout the county. There's a creative arts partnership with the FIA, so we do classes there, STEM in lots of classrooms throughout the schools. Obviously, agriculture and animal science is something we focus on, but there's also a healthy living program. Health Rocks is one that stands out to me, where middle school age kids learn about avoiding substances through different calming techniques, coping mechanisms. There's also leadership and civic engagement, environmental and outdoor education. And 2 programs that come to mind for that are the Green Student Summit in partnership with Kettering University. And there's also the opportunity for kids to do a capital experience, learning about state government, and then other hands-on local government learning, because throughout the schools, kids are going to learn mostly about federal governance. We want to make sure that they're learning how to get engaged at local levels as well. And most importantly, I would like to highlight how to get involved. We cannot do the work that we do without volunteers. I'd like to focus on a new club that we've chartered. It's a bee club. We've got a 3rd generation beekeeper who had already taught, her children, her nieces and nephews, everyone at her church about beekeeping, and now she wants to expand it out throughout the county. And so she's formed a bee club. And we have partnered with Crossroads Village to have the youth teaching visitors when they come to the village about beekeeping. So really cool opportunities out there to get involved if you have an interest. interest or anything you'd like to share with kids, here's the QR code to be a volunteer. And then I've also got the QR code here for youth to sign up. 4-H is free. So any kids between the ages of 5 and 19 can sign up through there. Thanks very much. I'm going to pass it on to my colleague, Liz.
Before we pass it on, Amy, what are the 4-H's?
Oh, did we never answer what the 4-H's are? Oh my goodness. There, now I'm on the spot. It's so head, heart, hands, and health. Those are the 4-H's. Thanks very much. Yeah, what do you think?
All right, so we're gonna pass it over to one of our health educators, Liz, to talk about our health and nutrition programming.
And I am unfortunately not in the room with them, so I'm going to need to be pinned myself here. Thank you very much. So, hi again, I'm Liz Williams. I'm one of the Extension Health Educators representing the Health and Nutrition Institute. And the Health and Nutrition Institute provides programs and resources that help promote healthy lifestyles and empower residents to take control of their health through research-based education and community outreach. Here on our screen here is our 5 mighty staff that we have right now that cover Genesee County, in addition to a couple of us that cover some of the surrounding counties as well. And within the Health and Nutrition Institute, there are 3 primary teams that work together to really address the diverse health needs of Michigan communities. And I will next talk about a little bit more about each of those teams, but the first one is the Nutrition and Physical Activity team. We have the Food Safety team, and then what we call the Health team. So I'm going to go over a little bit about those teams, but as you can see on the screen here, we offer a wide range of programs and topics. I first just want to discuss our nutrition and physical activity team. So in July, Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which unfortunately eliminated federal funding for $530 million worth of supplemental nutrition assistance program education, which you may have heard of or know about, which is called SNAP Ed. For MSU Extension, this meant the loss of approximately $10 million annually, which has supported our nutrition and physical activity education program delivered by MSU Extension throughout the last 30 years all over Michigan. This loss is really heartbreaking to everyone, not only for the 94 staff whose positions were eliminated, but also for more than about 115,000 Michiganders who count on that SNAP Ed education each year to support them making those healthier choices and, really build some skills to have healthier lives. So while that SNAP Ed funding has ended, the Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Program, which we call FNEP, continues. And FNEP is funded separately, and it has not been impacted by these cuts. We have a very small but mighty team of staff across the state, and we are so grateful to have 2 of those staff members in Genesee County. These staff members focus on supporting low-income families, particularly parents, caregivers of young children, pregnant teens, youth, and children. And their programs really emphasize similar things to SNAP Ed programming, which is diet quality, physical activity, food resource management, food safety, helping families build those lifelong skills that support healthier living. I just wanted to highlight some of the partnerships that nutrition and physical activity team has worked with. When I was hired in at Extension 11 years ago, that's the team that I was hired in on. We worked with the Flint Public Schools, all schools in Genesee County, teaching students, parent facilitator groups. We have a very large presence at the senior centers, the Flint Farmers Market, substance use disorder serving organizations. So New Path, Odyssey House, Salvation Army, Wellness Aid, senior housing. We've really done nutrition programming all throughout Genesee County. We recently just had a retirement over the last few years, and she worked here for over 10 years. So if you know Lynette Kaiser, she was a rock champion for our nutrition program throughout Flint. And I just want to share a really impactful thing that sticks with me forever. Is when I was hired on, it was kind of right around the Flint water crisis. And the nutrition team really quickly adapted our programming to address the community urgent needs. We developed and shared materials that highlighted how nutrition could help mitigate the effects of lead exposure while really just continuing to broaden our mission of delivering evidence-based nutrition. We really didn't have to change what we were doing besides tailoring some of the message because we were already doing the good work in the community. So that's something that I will always hold deeply in my heart and have been grateful to be a part of that um, with MSU Extension. I'm on the health team now, and a lot of the programs on the screen here are programs that we offer on the health team. Some of the programs we've created ourselves, some of them are national programs that you all might be familiar with. On our team, we really offer a wide range of programs addressing social emotional health, chronic disease prevention and management, such as like diabetes education, chronic disease, chronic pain education, falls prevention, caregiving education, substance use disorder education, mindfulness and farm stress management. We deliver these programs in a variety of formats, from one-time presentations to multi-week series, really trying to make them as accessible and adaptable to the community's needs. And then I just wanted to give a little shout out to current grant funding. We've really been able to offer a couple of our programs more frequently, and that is our Tai Chi for Better Sleep and our Mindfulness for Better Sleep program, which is combining our sleep education program with either a Tai Chi practice or our brand new, very excited to offer mindfulness curriculum. And the next thing I want to highlight is just share with you some of our some pictures from our Tai Chi and for arthritis and fall prevention program. It is my absolute favorite class to teach. I've been with Extension for 11 years, and this is the most well-received program that I've ever offered. It has been such a big success around Genesee County. I'm in a lot of the senior centers. Prior to COVID, there was a couple of other instructors around Genesee County that offered Tai Chi. There's not too many of us now. I always joke and say I'm a wanted woman because there's such a need for this program. But I'm the only person in our area that offers it through MSU Extension. I do want to just put a plug out that I do have a class starting in October at the Flint Township Senior Center. If you are interested in learning more about it or registering, please contact the Senior Center directly. I also want to share. Yeah.
The family doctor in me is like jumping up and down and super excited about this because there's so much good data on, and I don't know if we have Dr. Asher, any of our other primary care people who are like jumping up and down like I am, but it's such a good realm, like opportunity for exercise and movement, particularly, excuse me, I got so excited I stumbled over my words. Particularly for our people getting older in age who are suffering from things like arthritis or movement. And as I stumble over my words, it helps people not stumble over their feet, right?
Yep.
There's so much benefit to Tai Chi. So just that you all are offering this wasn't even like, certainly this is one of my favorites. You have so much wonderful programming, but I swear the doctor in me just couldn't help but this is amazing programming.
I feel the same exact way you do about it. And that's why the next thing I actually wanted to share is just a quick participant story. And I did see a message in the chat. Yes, I was going to acknowledge that as well. I am open to offering this class at other locations if I haven't been there. So please just connect with us. We can share our contact information, or you can just connect with the Genesee County office and they will put you in connection with me. If I have not been to your site, please connect with me. I just love teaching this class so much. So I wanted to highlight a story. Just if you're not familiar with Tai Chi, it is one of the most recommended types of physical activity for older adults, especially in regards to preventing falls, but it is open to anyone. And this particular story is just a glimpse of how impactful this can be for individuals. So I thank you for my recent Tai Chi class for arthritis. This course is just what I needed to keep me moving and has had a payoff for my renewed activity already. I recently was in the parking garage where I live and I stepped into an oil slick, and instead of falling, I was able to recover my balance. I credit this flexibility to the awareness of bodily movement and learning to walk more heel toe. I slipped and easily recovered. Thanks again for keeping me upright. I look forward to another course come fall. And I am not joking. We get stories like this every single time we teach the class. It is so awesome. And it just makes me love teaching the class so much more. So please connect with us, anyone on this webinar,
Absolutely.
organizations, or on an individual level. We offer it large scale. Virtually too. So even, if in person doesn't work with the schedules, we offer it in a wide variety of opportunities. So check it out.
Liz, that's amazing. And I
Yeah.
want to make sure that all of our providers who are on catch this, because certainly a resource that people are going to want to recommend to their own patients. We're going to get our friend in the Michigan shirt, some Michigan State gear. Let's put a mental note.
Yeah.
But thank you for telling us about this because
Yeah,
I've
no problem.
seen the benefits. This is awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean
I'm
to
glad you're excited, as excited as me. All right, the last little work team I want to highlight that falls under the Health and Nutrition Institute is our food safety team. So that the goal of the food safety team is really to prevent foodborne illness across the community. This team, as you see on the screen here, this is just a tiny glimpse of some of the programs they offer. But it ranges from commercial focused Serve Safe certification to guidance for home based business under the cottage food law to food preservation classes. And in addition to like in-person sessions that are offered with community partners, they also host weekly webinars. So there's one on Mondays at noon for 30 minutes. It's called Serving Up Food Safety, and that is food safety topics, different ones each week. And then the other one is called Preserving Michigan Harvest. That's on Thursdays at 1 p.m. or 6 p.m. That one's an hour, and that focuses on different safe food preservation practices. And another really cool resource that they have on that team is that we have a food safety hotline, kind of like what Barcelona was talking about, but this is a hotline that you can call Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and basically ask them any food safety questions. So it could be like, my power went out. How long can I keep my food before I have to dispose of it? Or can I eat this food past a certain expiration date? All those questions that we always wonder and don't know the answer to in regards to food safety. So that's a really great hotline that we provide here. And then the last little slide is, again, just how to get involved. You will have access to all these links. A big thing that we've really been very proud of over the last few years is what we call our online interest referral form. This is just a quick little form that you can fill out. It can be to refer yourself, or it could be a doctor referring a patient. And it will pull up a link of our programs or topic areas. You submit that, and then we'll follow up with you with upcoming programs and things of that nature to make sure you can get information on whatever program you are looking for. And then also just another push to sign up for our news digests. Kind of similar thing, you can toggle what topics are of interest to you, and then you'll receive announcements about upcoming programs, articles written from like extension experts, and then other additional resources that we have created.
Liz,
And I am,
this
yep.
is awesome. I want to bring a couple before. Yes, Dr. Ash, because she had a cool comment and thought related to some of this stuff. Can we bring Doc G and Nurse T? Because I know they were really excited about the Tai Chi. I think we've got both ends of the age spectrum on, because I know Dr. Ash with the little kids she gets to take care of got excited about something, and Nurse T and Doc G, I know they were excited about the elderly population. So we're just going to run the gamut of our population in Flint.
Hey, I'm open. Connect with me. We've recently developed some pretty big flyers that are kind of meant to be in providers' offices that kind of show a list of programs that we offer with a QR code and a link of how to it's, just get more information. When they sign up for our things, it's not like you're signed up for the program. It's just essentially to receive more information.
The
Go ahead, Doc.
pediatrician in me, when you were talking sort of about like food safety and food safety education, I'm wondering if you have anything in terms of breast milk storage, formula.
Definitely. Because
Okay,
we have maternal and infant health educators specifically on our team too
awesome.
as well. So yes, we absolutely do.
Very cool. If you can connect me to that, that would be great. That's common
Absolutely.
questions I get. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Liz, you just bought yourself another visit because
I
we
know. I
could
just
have
loved
a
when all of you
whole
popped up on
conversation
the
about
screen.
maternal health. Oh, that's awesome. I see Nurse T right here, so go ahead.
Thank you for your presentation, especially with the exercise class. So I was thinking about Hasselbring and seeing how I can get you over there on one Friday for exercise as well. I was just in a conversation with Mott Community College yesterday, and we were talking about partnering food and health and thinking about some education on for the residents to know how to eat healthy food, how long to leave it on the counter, and all of those things. So please reach out to me and consider maybe doing a partnership with Mott and
Absolutely.
Hose.
Would love to.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
webinar is making connections. That is
Yeah,
our
I know.
absolute
And I
favorite
know
thing to
Doc
be
G
able to do.
is just over there thrilled to death as well. So
I heard her. Doc G, come on up.
Oh, yes. I want to say the Tai Chi portion is always recommended for veterans. So how can we connect our veterans? Because I know they had it in Saginaw, but nothing around here. So that's for veterans with
So
PTSD.
I actually cover the Saginaw area too. So I'm
Oh, okay.
probably
Yeah.
one of the people. Yeah. So just connect with me.
Okay.
Just all you have to do is connect with me. We could set up specific classes that are, marketed just towards the veterans, and you guys can market that towards your network, or we could invite them just to our general, like open to the public type of classes. Yeah. So please, this is wonderful. This is what our goal was for doing this webinar, is to make good partnerships and connections. And I just had a feeling you all didn't know all of the wonderful health things we were doing. So yeah, so happy to connect. We're always looking for new partnerships. I cover multiple counties, but there's a couple of us that do.
Excellent. Thank you.
I love it if we could get your whole team here, because I want to know what courses you've participated in that might be your favorite that we should hear about. Just on the way out, as you all close up, we'd love to hear about your favorite course. And I have a feeling yours is the Tai Chi, it sounds like.
And sleep education.
And sleep education.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are my two babies.
Yeah. Now, is the programs grant funded, or when you go to the different facilities, do they have to pay?
Nope, we're typically grant funded, always looking for more grants, but we do have funding right now for what we're calling, like I mentioned, Tai Chi for better sleep. So it's pairing our sleep program and our Tai Chi program together. We can still offer them separately though, but we are typically usually grant funded.
Yeah, and that's good, because a lot of our health issues is because we're not getting the proper amount of sleep,
Yeah. Don't get me started on talking about sleep.
Yeah.
We always say here in the office, we never see Liz because she's so busy doing programming. I feel like that's just gonna become even more true after this webinar.
Liz heard that our first recommendation at the start of the webinar was that you take the rest of the afternoon and the weekend to catch up with yourself. So we're gonna let her finish so she can catch up with herself. But
I think I'm passing it off to Kelly to wrap us up here, right?
Kelly. Awesome. Yes, thanks so much, Liz. And I love the excitement. I love that was exactly the goal of us sharing here today, was just connecting with more people, and really, we know our programming is meeting some some really important needs, and we're excited that you all are recognizing that too. So I'm going to finish us off by sharing about the last kind of bucket of programming that we do as MSU Extension. Yeah, there's more. I feel like I need a deep breath after all the great information that's been shared. But the last theme that we focus on is community, food, and environment. So this team really focuses kind of broadly on supporting communities and keeping businesses strong, those communities strong, making sure we're taking care of our natural resources and securing a better financial future, both for individuals and at the community level. But my favorite thing that this team does, and what I spend my time on every day, is supporting our local food systems, our Michigan food systems, our Genesee County food system, and improving access and production of locally grown healthy food. So I serve as a community food systems educator based here in Genesee County. And here are some of the fun things I get to do in the community that might connect with the work that you all are doing. So one of my main focuses is supporting farmers and food businesses, making sure that they have the tools, the information that they need to be successful. Whether that is, I want to become a farmer and I need to know where to start, or hey, I have a hoop house like you see in this picture here. I need to learn how to grow more efficiently in that hoop house, or I need to find a new market to sell my products to. So I'll sit down with farmers and food business owners, kind of talk through their options, connect them with a lot of experts, a lot of information that we have across the state. And then in addition, I love focusing on food systems literacy, or people understanding and knowing where their food comes from and how they can make choices within the food system. So teaching people about what grows in Michigan, what doesn't grow in Michigan, what grows right here in Genesee County, and what our awesome local farmers are doing. And then that work ties into farm to school work. So we have a lot of schools and early care and education sites here in Genesee County doing some really cool things with school gardens, local food purchasing, food education. And I think my favorite part of my job is supporting those different programs. And then finally, we have the Flint and Genesee Food Policy Council, which I know some of you are connected with, and I've been supporting those quarterly community convenings. So in-person time where we can chat and share about what's going on in the food world. So the photos here are some things that I wanted to highlight. You might see some familiar faces up in front of that van there. Last June in 2024, we took a group down to the Urban Food Systems Symposium in Columbus, Ohio, which was a ton of fun connecting with other urban food systems folks. In June of this year, we did a beginning farmer training at Asbury Farms, and that photo is from that. So we got some local folks connected with a new curriculum and resource to train beginning farmers. And then one of our big success stories from the summer has been these pop-up farmers markets at 2 senior centers. So we've been working with the Flushing Area Senior Center and the Carmen Ainsworth Senior Center. The idea was 100% one of the farmers here in Genesee County. She came to us at Extension, said, hey, I've seen this happen elsewhere in the state. I want to do it here in Genesee County. How can you help me? So we worked on connecting her with those senior centers, and then also making sure that her and the other farmer involved were set up to accept different food assistance programs like SNAP and WIC, Produce Connection, and the Senior Project Fresh program. So I could talk for hours on that. We can maybe bring that back some other time. Some ways that you can get connected, and I know these links were dropped in the chat. So we have 3 opportunities I want to highlight for online self-paced learning. So if you're someone who loves in the evening, kick back with your computer or your tablet and learn something new, these 3 courses might be interesting to you. So My Food Stories is really kind of that food literacy, consumer education, learn about the Michigan food system course. Starting a school or community garden is exactly that. If you've been looking, maybe, I don't know, your office just expanded and you're looking to start a community garden right outside, we've got information for you. I know we were talking about that before the webinar. Yes. And then finally, if you are a farmer or a food entrepreneur and you've heard about grants and things that are available, we have a webinar for you to be a stronger grant applicant while you're thinking about that. So QR codes, they're also in the chat and in the document we shared at the very beginning. These are all free self-paced courses. They are through MSU's D2L system, so there's a little bit of a registration process, but it is completely free. You'll never have to pay for a thing. And then 2 final things I want to highlight, as I know we're getting to the end of our time. The Flint and Genesee Food Policy Council is hosting the Flint Food Summit on September 24th, which is so soon. I know some of the folks on here are attending and speaking and really supporting us here. So if you're interested, We have registration available. The registration fee increases after this weekend, so make sure that you register by the end of this week to get the best ticket price. But we're really excited for this day to connect and celebrate the work that's been happening here in Genesee County. We do have scholarships available for this as well. So that info is at that website. And then the last thing oh no, I have two more things. Okay, second to last thing I'll highlight is the Michigan Apple Crunch. So this is a really fun statewide event celebrating Michigan grown apples. You can crunch with your school, your workplace, your family, whoever. Buy a Michigan grown apple, crunch into it on October 16th, take a photo, tag us on Facebook, and show us your love for Michigan apples. And then if you would, register your crunch too, so we can tally up how many crunches happen throughout the state. And then one final thing, because I really focused on the food part of community food and environment, is the other pieces of work that happen within this, this work team across the state. So like I said, I'm the one here in Genesee County connected to this work, but we have experts all across the state in all of these topics you see on the screen: community development, finance and home ownership, facilitation and leadership, conservation and natural resources. So any question you have related to these things, you can use that Ask Extension tool that Barson mentioned at the beginning, or just call our office and we can get you connected to the right expert. I did want to highlight these money management webinars because, especially with kind of what people need right now, these have been really popular and really timely for folks. These are taught by our experts from across the state on different home ownership and finance and budgeting topics. So that mymoneyhealth.org is going to have all of that information for us. So that's all.
That's all.
That's all.
That
That's it.
is
Yeah.
all.
So if there was anything today that really piqued your interest, or that you think that you want to connect with us about at MSU Extension, this is how you can find us. So we did just move offices. We're right in downtown Flint in the Land Bank building. I would recommend, though, if you want to connect with us in person, call and make an appointment first, because we're doing all this programming out in the community. You know, the person you need to talk to may not be in if you just stop by. We also have our Facebook page, MSU Extension Genesee County. And then, as always, you can give us a call and one of our amazing secretaries will get you to the right person. So I also want to give a shout out before I hand it back to all of our other staff. I know we've got other team members on the webinar today. Our staff is pictured in this photo here. We really do have an awesome team. And we're here. We want to work with so many of you across the county. So thank you for having us today.
Thank you. And I see a question from CC really quick.
And it's real quick. I just got so excited. It was so much.
You and me both.
My question is what I was really excited about. I just attended a conference down in Chicago, National Healthcare Centers. Food is medicine. That presentation was so amazing. I'm talking, they're writing prescriptions, people going in grocery stores. Kroger's and Walmart was the two biggest providers, but they had literally prescriptions on what type of food went with the patient. That was on Ozempic, that was in heart failure. I mean, it's grants out there, and I can't think of the doctor name, and I'll send it to you, Dr. Johnson. Food is medicine. This thing is blowing up, and it took me away. I mean, I wanted to spend time with the entire panel. So just let me go out there. And
appreciate that recommendation. We're going to have to follow up with you and do some follow-up on that, because that sounds amazing. It also dovetails with a lot of the work that some of our researchers are doing around the prescription fruit and vegetable program and all of that. So good space, and we'll bring you back to think about that and share some of your insights from the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to give a special shout out to MSU Extension. Food is medicine, but I appreciate how much you all have made everything about community and the Flint community, and the amount of resources that you've thought through, poured into. They're just phenomenal. I can't imagine how much it takes to restructure from losing all that funding to be really thoughtful about how you engage community and make sure that the resources we need in our community are still available. So shout outs to you, and thank you so much. We have one last announcement. We're going to let you go take care of yourself for the rest of the weekend. Just a reminder about our research symposium, September 26th with the HFRCC. We've got a wonderful keynote speaker in Dr. Gail Christopher. We look forward to seeing you there. Please register. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Oh, and save the date.